Now be recorded.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. Hold on, we're not ready yet.
Hey, Ray.
How's it going, Mr. Clark?
Very good. Very good. How you doing, Jeff?
Good.
Very good.
All right, Mayor, we are live. You can start the meeting.
All right. Virtual instructions. Marlon?
This is the Town of Pembroke Park regular commission meeting starting at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. Notice is hereby given that the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida will hold a virtual regular commission meeting utilizing communications media technology in accordance with Emergency Ordinance 2020-009 dated November 10th, 2020, pertaining to conducting local government meetings while under the public health emergency related to the spread of coronavirus. Regular commission meeting Wednesday, February 10th, 2021, starting at 7 p.m. If you wish to dial in by using your phone, you could dial 1-877-309-2073. The toll-free number is 1-877-309-2073. The other alternative number is 1-571-317-3129. 1-571-317-3129. The access code is 353-155-277. Again, 353-155-277. 2 hours prior to the meeting, you can submit a text or voicemail at 954-707-9820. Any members of the public wishing to comment publicly on any matter, including an item on the agenda, may submit their comments by email to the town clerk at townclerk@tppfl.gov.
All right. Call to order.
Pledge of Allegiance.
And time is 7:02 p.m. Pledge of Allegiance. Flags behind Commissioner Clark. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Commissioner Clark.
Here.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille.
Here.
Vice Mayor Cohen is under the weather and will not be with us tonight. Mayor Jacobs.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, number 5, additions, deletions, withdrawals to the agenda.
Okay, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, 14.2, we're going to take that off. They're still trading paper. I talked to Melissa tonight, and Yolanda and Logan still have to get together on some matters. So that'll, I guess, be on the agenda for the workshop. Although I was told that, and maybe Melissa's there. If Melissa's there, she could comment where we are.
I think you summed it up, Commissioner. But
Okay.
also, Commissioner, you don't need to have approval from the commission for Logan to be an intern. So
Okay.
I think that that item was just going to be for informational purposes.
Okay. Good. So be it.
So removal of 14.2.
Yep. And then I need to add an item at the end, the I-95 improvements.
Call it 14.4.
We'll take out 14.1. Vice Mayor Cohen is obviously under the weather.
Okay. Anything else? Commissioner DeVille?
Yeah, good. And Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead.
okay, On 12.3, I called Marlon, and do you want to tell them, Marlon, who else is added onto the list of co-board or members to the board appointments?
Yes, sir, I was about to do that. Earlier today, I made two changes well, I didn't make two changes to the agenda. I had just added to the agenda. So there was two items that were added to the agenda. One of them is on 12.3. Mr. Janzer submitted his application this week. And by the time he submitted it, I had already gone ahead and finalized it. So that's why I submitted that amendment. And then the other one is that I had the 12.4, the public records request policy. I had the policy on, but I didn't have the resolution. Melissa provided me the resolution, so I uploaded that as well. So I just wanted to bring those two items to your attention.
Okay.
Okay.
Just give me 1 second here.
Yes. Okay, I was asking, Mr. Mayor, I had my mic turned off.
Okay, what are you asking?
Okay, on 14.3, the right-of-way of County Line Road, add interim Miriam Jacques to that list of all of us. We have the town manager, we have the town planner Siegel, we have planner Miller, and myself, and just add that one name and we're good.
Okay. Okay. All right. Clerk Commissioner, do you have anything?
No.
All right. And we will move on. Presentations and proclamations. Is there any? None? Oh, wait, additions. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda. A motion to adopt the agenda.
Motion to adopt the amended agenda?
Second.
All right. Motion has been adopted and seconded. Roll call.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right. We don't have any presentations or proclamations. We'll move on to number 7. Public comments related to agenda items, good and welfare. Any
Look.
public comments?
Yeah, we have one person here.
Yes, David Roach from Dell Village, public comment. Annexation is going to be coming up again shortly in the legislature. We need Howard Clark, definitely, since he's with Florida League of Cities, to press our issue and let everybody know that the town of Pembroke Park likes being the town of Pembroke Park. We do not want to be taken over by West Park. You commissioners were elected by the people. The people like the town the way it is. A couple of years ago, they actually did some research and found out if we did go to West Park, the additional taxes would be $600 a year difference. Plus, we know that West Park only really wants us for our commercial taxes. So please, whatever you do, let Howard do his thing, which is very good with the Florida League of Cities and everything else up in Tallahassee, so that this resolution passes and we stay as the town of Pembroke Park. We do not want to go to West Park. Thank you.
Anyway, that's
Thank you very much, Mr. Roach. Mayor, you're muted.
Any more public comments? Okay. Consent agenda. I entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Second,
Roll call?
Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark.
yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, moving on, number 9. Resolutions. Attorney, read the resolutions by title only. Oh, only? Yeah, tongue-tied.
Resolution 2021-004. Resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, establishing a schedule of fees for certain development applications within the Town of Pembroke Park pursuant to the Code of Ordinances of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, sections 10-57, 13.5-75, 20-1, 20-24, 21-71, 23-1, 28-71, 28-85.1, 28-188.2, and 28-214, providing for severability, superseding conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date.
Motion to adopt,
Second.
Roll call?
Motion to adopt by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Right. Number 10, ordinances, first reading. Code updates to allow cost allocated with processing and development applications. Town Attorney Anderson, Town Planner Siegel. Attorney, can you read the ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 2021-003. An ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, allowing the town to charge costs associated with processing development applications to the applicant, and furtherance thereof, amending the Town of Pembroke Park Code sections 10-57, 13.5-75, 20-1, 20-24, 21-71, 23-1, 28-71, 28-85.1, 28-188.2, and 28-214, deleting sections 20-58, 20-22, 23.2. Those may be dashes. I may need to, well, it doesn't matter. 23-2, 23-3, 23-4, and 23-5, and 28-72 of the Town Code, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date.
Motion to adopt,
Hold on.
Whoop.
You jumped ahead 1 second here. On this one, we need to open public comment.
yeah, but after the motion and the second to adopt, or public comment, okay,
Public comment.
yep, gotcha.
Let's open public comment.
Okay, hold on. Everybody's unmuted, sir.
Is there any public comment on this ordinance?
I do not have any, sir.
Okay, no public comment. We'll close. Motion to approve resolution, or I'm sorry, motion to adopt ordinance.
Motion to adopt,
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Clark,
yes.
Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. Second reading will take place on March 10th.
Right, item number 11, ordinances, second reading. Public hearing, 11.1. Second reading ordinances number 2021-001, special magistrate ordinance, Town Attorney Anderson, Building Official Nunez. Ordinance number 2021-001. Attorney, read the ordinance by title only.
Ordinance number 2021-001, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 7, Article 1 of the Pembroke Park Code of Ordinances to allow for a special magistrate to preside over code enforcement cases, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date.
Motion to adopt.
Wait, we got to open public comment.
Okay.
Hold on. Everybody's unmuted, sir.
All right. Any public comment on the ordinance, second reading?
I don't have anything, sir.
All right, we'll close public comment.
Motion to adopt. Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call?
Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Right. Second reading, item 11.2, second reading ordinance 2021-002, zoning modification. Town Planner Miller, Town Attorney Anderson. Ordinance number 2021-002. Attorney, read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 2021-002, an ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, modifying a variance granted in 2001 relating to a portion of Lot 2, Block 13 in Section 23, Township 51 South, Range 43 East, according to the plat thereof recorded in Plat Book B, Plat Book B, page 13 of the Public Records of Dade County, Florida, said land situate, lying, and being in Broward County, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the Code of Ordinances, superseding conflicting ordinances and resolutions, and providing an effective date.
All right, we'll open public comment. Mark,
Everybody, yep, everybody's unmuted.
we're open for public comment.
I don't have anything, sir.
All right, no public comment. We will close. Entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call?
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0 on second reading. Second and final reading, actually.
All right. Item 12, new business. 12.1, Muse Salter Settlement and Release Agreement. Town Attorney Anderson.
So as you know, I've been working on getting this case settled, and we've come to an agreement, what I think is a beneficial settlement for the town. I would ask that the commission keep their comments on this item to a minimum. And one of the things that we agreed to was to state on the record that we were changing the reason for Ms. Salter's departure from cause to no cause. And so I'm stating that on the record. It's also contained in the settlement agreement. And there is also a general release, releasing us from all further claims of liability by or from her. And it's my recommendation that the town commission adopt this, accept it, agree with it, and move forward with it.
All right. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we settle it as spoken by the town attorney, Melissa Anderson.
I second it.
Is there any discussion? No discussion. Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Item 12.2, wide format scanner for the building department, IT Director Kula.
Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor, Town Manager. This is a wide format, high-speed scanner for the building department. The price that we have is $990, but with the money Miguel has, basically we're only paying about $3,000 for this. This is gonna get us caught up with all of the plans. This is so we can scan all our plans, digitalize them, and get us caught up and be able to save a lot of room in the town and go fully digital.
Can I correct you on this item? It's $9,990.
That's correct. I was
Yeah,
just
what did I
about,
say? $9,990, yes.
you said
Very
990, sir.
You gave
Oh,
us a
sorry.
$9,000 discount on it.
There you go. Sorry about that. But like I said, we're only going to be paying, we have a $7,000 credit that Miguel is getting, so we're only going to pay that difference for it in the end.
Actually, I do want to point out, but this is really worth mentioning, what Miguel did, he got a grant. I think it was through Broward County, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Miguel. It's a grant for about $7,500.
That is correct. It's a grant for $7,500 directly from Broward County.
For this.
All right. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt or approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner DeVille, Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
12.3, discussion of adopting members for the Planning Zoning Board, Town Manager Uminas, Town Planner Siegel.
Yes.
Resolution number 2021-006.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. When we were taking a look into this item, and our town attorney, Melissa, can elaborate on this, but it seems like we haven't appointed, or the terms have expired a little over a year ago. And so what we're trying to do is make things right and get the appointments corrected.
Okay. Is this an application process or an appointment process?
It's an appointment process. Melissa can add on that, but it's an appointment process. You know, you can handle it the way you want to see it. People can apply, but ultimately the commission appoints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Planning and Zoning Board ordinance the requirements of the Planning and Zoning Board ordinance in regard to the qualification of commission of members is pretty simple. It requires that they be 18 years of age and that they be residents of the town. And then it's up to the board to make those appointments. I know that there are 2 applicants on here who are married, which is not prohibited by law, but it certainly raises government in the sunshine issues. So Mr. and Mrs. Roach need to be aware of that they're under a duty not to discuss any of the issues which are brought up in planning and zoning privately together, or that's a violation of sunshine. So I don't know if they thought about that before they both applied. I believe one is currently or was a member, and then the other one was a member of the code board. But I think they want to take that into consideration. And those are my comments moving forward. Heidi, do you have anything you want to add?
No, just that this is a timely issue because of all the expired members. We don't have a sitting board, and we have 2 pending planning and zoning board applications that need to be heard and have been waiting for a month now.
All right.
And Mr.
Um,
Mr. Mayor, I've
Yes.
got Mr. Roach here. Is it okay if he makes a comment?
Sure.
Okay.
When we actually filled out applications, so Mayor, you were right. We had to fill out an application. But as far as we knew, I was doing mine for planning and zoning, and my wife was doing hers for code enforcement.
I'm
So we-
looking at that right now. Hold on one second. Let me pull it back up again. Is yours says planning and zoning, and Ellen Roach says code board. So she is not.
Exactly.
She's
Not on the
on-
same-
Okay, so we're gonna remove her from that roster then?
Remove her from that. Ellen Roach from the code and zone. Sorry, from the planning and zoning board.
Right. Now, Mr. Mayor, if I may also, Robert Janser, who is also put on there, he is also on code enforcement. So what we need to do, or what you need to do, sir, since you are the mayor, is to delineate between all these names that are on the list and actually designate which board those people are on, because it was not on your minutes.
Well, I have another thing I need to bring forward here. So I need to bring in the fact to the commission, bring it to the commissioner's attention that Robert Genzer is a business owner of the community and not a resident. Per his application, he has his business Embassy Park listed as his business, but on further investigation, his residence is located outside of town. Hold on, let me give you the address here. Outside of town, I'm not gonna give you the whole address, but he actually lives in Plantation. So with him not being an actual resident, he can't sit on either one of these boards. And I want to confirm with the town attorney that you have to be a resident to be on these boards.
That is correct. That's what the code says.
So I have not confirmed this with Robert Genzer, but I think we need to remove him at this time until we can confirm his actual residency. So we will be removing Ellen Roach and Robert Genzer from 12.3.
Mayor, if I may, please.
Go ahead.
If the commission has additional individuals that they would like to bring forth in an upcoming meeting, we would gratefully appreciate it, because we're really low on individuals sitting on the boards. And when we requested these applications, it was because none of the current board members were they had not been renewed, and they were not active. None of them were active. So that's why you've got this selection all at one shot. But moving forth, if we can, if you would kindly adopt.
Okay. So
And then forward, you guys can bring forth additional residents that want to be involved.
well, two
And
things here.
I also, this is the town attorney, I also want to mention that while code enforcement is always very important, the planning and zoning board really is the immediate concern here. So we need more board members for the planning and zoning board. I am not concerned about code enforcement right now. So the
Okay,
commissioners, it's incumbent upon you to find some people who will serve.
can we have, I would say we'll put this out on our Everbridge, but it's not complete yet. If we could make JC have a Facebook post made for our code board, our code and planning board, so we can put that out. I also know some residents that I can talk to about this tomorrow and have anyone submit an application. So we need a total of 5, correct?
We need 5 makes up the board, but a quorum would be 3.
So is the board of 5 or is it of 7?
It's 5 with 2 alternates, but you can get away with 3 for the time being. And I think if you
Okay.
take away 2 of the people, you've still got 4 left for the P and Z board, if I'm correct.
Well, we have to take away the 2 because Robert Genzer has to prove residency. He just
Right.
owns a business and doesn't have a residence here in Pembroke.
Right, so I think for the time being, they can convene as long as they have at least 3 people.
Right.
But we definitely need to work on getting like some more board members.
Okay. So then, Town Attorney, I'll have you read the resolution by title only, removing Ellen Roach and Robert Genzer from this.
Resolution number 2021-006, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, appointing members to the Planning and Zoning Board of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, superseding conflicting resolutions and providing an effective date.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Discussion?
Are we approving the 4 names now, and then we just add
Yes.
additional later on?
Yes. The names are David Roach, Edward Manley, Tamara Benedy, and Gary Sherrard. Any other questions? Comments? Roll call?
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0 for the 4 members.
12.4, Public Records Request Policy. Town Clerk Martell. Resolution number 2021-008.
Okay, this is a resolution that we wanted to go ahead and get approved because of our public records request policy. This would just reinforce what we do and how it's done and why we go ahead and have specific guidelines. And what I'd like to do is, we've been pretty successful up to now with the OIG, with all the different resolutions that we've approved, really fixing up some policies. And this would just enhance one more policy that the clerk's office needs. So I would greatly appreciate if you could approve this resolution.
All right, Town Attorney, and have this resolution read by title only.
Resolution number 2021-008, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, establishing a public records request policy, superseding conflicting resolutions and providing an effective date.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
12.5, GIS software, IT Director Picola.
Edward Valley.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. This basically is our GIS software, which is a geographical information system. This is tying all the new enterprise software and our financial software and our work order system together, and will allow management, as far as department heads, to geographically place everything that's going on in the town. It'll give us a lot of reporting, gives a lot of visual of what we're doing in the town maintenance-wise, along with all the other departments. So it really helps out building and public works. I could let Miguel talk a little bit more if you have any questions on it. The startup on that is $41,684, and the annual is about $7,500 per year for licensing.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, motion to adopt.
Second.
Discussion. Is this a budgeted item?
No, it is not. It's part of what we're doing with the building department, and also Harry can talk to the other part that's going to pay for it. Building is paying about 25%, and then our finance director can go over the rest of it.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor. Just to follow up with what Mark's saying, the plan is to allocate accordingly based on the need. So I'd have to sit with Public Works and see how much of that's going to be allocated for Public Works, sewer, stormwater, and what other areas before a full allocation could be determined. But the plan is to spread it out amongst all the different funds.
Okay. Is there any other questions? No questions? Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
Right. 12.6, awarding RFP 2021 professional engineering design for Southwest 25th Street vicinity drainage improvements funds from FEMA's Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, HMGP. A federally funded project, Interim Finance Director Taubenfeld and Interim Public Services Director Jacques.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Commission. So this is a follow-up to the bid that was out for engineering design services. The committee met last week. The memo details what transpired as far as who's in attendance, and also committee is recommending that we move forward with Craig A. Smith as the #1 choice, Kimley Horn being the second, and Keith Engineering being the third engineering company to be for this project. Mary, you could discuss as to the details of the project if needed.
Okay,
Okay, Mr. Mayor.
go ahead.
Okay, I have to ask, I called Melissa earlier today. Melissa, if you're on, could you comment, or it really needs to be in writing? May I vote on this item?
Excuse me. Yes, Commissioner Clark, you may vote on this item. I had forwarded to me earlier today a memorandum which was written by Chris Ryan, specific to this item on June 10th, 2020, addressing the possible ethics issues, because both you and Commissioner Cohen have some interest or live in that area. You're a property owner, she's a park manager. Mr. Ryan did the analysis. I agree with his analysis that this is not a voting conflict for you, that you will not receive a special private gain or loss from this project. It's going to be the same benefit that other property owners in the area would receive, and it's okay. It's therefore okay for you to go ahead and vote on it. Marlon, let's enter the memo into the record, please.
Yes, will do.
And then I just want to say, and then as I said, Melissa, the roads there, 25th, 24th, and the 3 bamboo parks are all interconnected. They affect each other. I just wanted to make sure that that is known.
Okay, is there a motion?
I have a question. Do we know why Craig A. Smith was chosen?
Yes.
They stand out from the rest.
The way we did this, it's the Florida state statutes actually, when it comes to engineering and professional services like that, you can't go based on price. What you do is you base it on qualifications. And so when they submit their qualifications, you review them and you compare them to the RFP, the RFQ, the actual request that we put out. The committee, when we were meeting, when we were checking off all the boxes and we were ranking the scores, we put a numerical value to each category. And at the end of the day, the weighted scores, I mean, it seemed, and plus including references and reference checks that Harry did, that's the way they came out. So what you see there is the numerical order in which they came out.
I would also like to add, as in regards to the reference checks, multiple companies did refer the same municipalities, and in both instances, Craig A. Smith was recommended over the others.
All right, thank you.
All right, is there any more discussion on this? Questions, comments? No? Roll call?
Actually, we need a motion, sorry.
We had a motion, we were in discussion, were we not? Howard, didn't you make the motion on this one?
A motion to adopt. I didn't make a motion, I don't believe.
Second.
Discussion?
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille.
Okay,
Mayor Jacobs?
I just want to say again that, you know, I don't know how the analysis was done, but this project could affect everybody to the positive. Okay, so I just want to make sure before I vote. That's on the record.
All right, any other discussion? Roll call?
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, 12.7, workshop to set the town commission vision and goals. Town Manager Jimenez.
Mayor, I've been at the last workshop, I was going to bring forward some dates. In speaking with Marlon, our town clerk, a suggestion was brought up, and I thought it was a good one, that maybe we can do this on a Friday during the day. We can set it up. The dates that we have come up with are four dates. Hold on, let me just look them up real quick. March 5th, March 12th, 19th, and the 26th. So we're looking at conducting this next month. If that's okay with all of you, it'll be during the day.
Anyone have any issues with those? Friday?
Nope, I'm fine with Fridays.
I'm fine with Fridays too. JC, would you just like to send out a notice to everyone on the day that works best?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys are open, I'll work with Marlon and we'll coordinate a date and send it out to you guys. And then we'll obviously properly advertise it.
All right, I think that works best for all of us. Agreed?
Perfect.
Okay. 12.8, legislative budget request for police department. Mayor Jacobs, Town Manager Jimenez, Town Lobbyist Segerson. And I got to correct this one. It says Lobbyist Carper, but it's actually Town Grant Contractor Wood Carper.
Mr. Mayor, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, we got word from Pete Carper and also Dave Segerson suggesting that we submit another legislative budget request for our police department. We have some solid costs that we have gone throughout this whole process that we gathered throughout this process. I think we stand on good ground. It doesn't compete with the other grants that we're applying for. So they requested, they suggested that we, submit another one. But since the commission had already approved it at the last commission, what I'm asking for is, well, for your blessing, but to be honest with you, the deadline was last week and I submitted it already. But I'm just asking for you guys to officially or formally bless it.
Okay. Motion for approval?
Motion to adopt, approve.
Second.
Discussion. Oh, go ahead, clerk.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Discussion. This is amount of $500,000 for the police department. Help with the startup cost. That's a quarter of the cost to start up the police department. Anyone have any questions? No.
No, every little bit helps.
All right. Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right. 12.9, purchase of police cars. Mayor Jacobs, Town Manager Jimenez. Want to start with this, JC?
Yes, actually, and I'll call on Harry. We have a government contract to purchase the police vehicles from Enterprise Fleet Management. This is to get the police department rolling. I think there's a 4 to 6 month lead time in getting the police cars in, and we wanted to get the order rolling.
Okay.
And Harry, if you don't mind, this is there's we have the option of leasing it and making payments over time, or just paying the full amount. But I think what
Sure.
we were leaning for. Well, go ahead, Harry.
Okay, so I'm sorry. No, so the approach that we're taking here is to help minimize the startup cost was to spread out these payments over a 5-year period, and excuse me, and be able to incorporate these lease payments into the operating budget, which was presented to the commission previously. So what you're looking at here is a year 1 investment. If you look at the proposal sheet, where it lists 14 patrol cars, 2 administrative cars, and then a third administrative car at a different price. One that's the single unit, it would be for the police chief, and the other admin, I believe, are for the captain and lieutenant, and the 14 other vehicles would be for your patrol officers. I believe we said detective, and I believe we said 1 additional vehicle on site to have just in case others were to be out of service. The way this lease is built, there's a residual value at the end of the lease. When you see it, that last column over there, equity of term, that states $176,000. So at the end of 5 years, if the assumption here is year 1, it's $290,000. Payments years 2 through 5 is $165,000. So you're looking at a total investment roughly of about $1 million. But at the end of 5 years, there's equity value left in the vehicles, what they're estimating to be at $176,000, which in turn can be used as a credit towards a new proposal. What's included in the price here are the actual vehicles, as well as the necessary equipment that's needed for the vehicles. And all that documentation is included in the support behind the proposal sheet. What you have are the lease quotes, and then for each type of car, and then behind that as well, you have the detail of items needed to, I guess, outfit the patrol cars.
And I just want to add a little more into this. So you guys are aware, these are full dressed police cars, lights, everything. So they come to us complete. The reason we went with the Durangos is 1, they were cheaper, but they're also, the patrol vehicles are all-wheel drive. So when we do have floodings, hurricanes, and emergencies, that these vehicles will still be able to get around town. That's why we went with those. They're a little larger in size than the cars, so there's more room for the officer and also in the back in the cage area. Harry, did you have anything else on this?
No, sir. I think I covered everything I needed to.
Okay.
Entertain any questions, try to answer any questions that they might have.
Any questions?
Yeah, did we compare in the price to anybody else? To any other companies? to make sure we're getting the best price or the best quote?
On that, I would have to defer to our consultant, David Howard. He was given the task to go out and secure all this information. I can tell you that it is a Sourcewell contract, so it is a government contract, but I can't speak for it being the cheapest out there.
And I can tell you this is our state contract that everyone uses for their cars.
Yeah, Sourcewell is a cooperative run by, I think it's the state of Minnesota. And so what they do is they will contract with some, whatever it is, whether it's a printer, manufacturer, or some, in this case, it's cars, and then they offer that price and terms to other local governments and governments, other types of governments around the country. So that's what this is, so you can be assured that it's a good competitive price and a good product.
Okay.
Any more questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt or approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
motion passes 3-0.
Okay, 12.10, Police Department budget. Mayor Jacobs, Town Manager, you minutes. Police
Yeah.
Department presentation by JC.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This presentation, that's just the name of the file, by the way, when they uploaded it. The budget that you see before you, this is the same one that was presented maybe a month or two ago by David Howard, our consultant. There's two different parts. There's the startup costs, and then there's the annual costs. The annual costs are we're pretty solid on those numbers. There are a few question marks in the startup costs. As you can see, we still don't know what it's going to cost to build out the police department here in Town Hall. It's under design right now. I was hoping to have a ballpark figure for you today, but unfortunately I don't have that yet. But as soon as I get it, I will share it with you, and also the cost of furniture. There's also a question regarding the regional dispatch that it hasn't been answered yet, and it has to do with Broward County, according to Dave Howard. And then there's also the timing. Timing is critical in this. There's some, it may fluctuate a little bit, because if we run concurrent, with ESO for like a month or 2 months, depending on how that goes, there may be a budgetary impact there. But as our consultant Dave Howard, and I'm not sure if he's on the line. I had asked him to join. I don't know if you're on, Dave.
I'm trying to find out. Let me unmute him. Everybody who may be on there. Hold on.
Dave Howard, are you there? Dave?
I thought I saw him on here.
Yeah, I asked him to be on, but I don't see him here.
I thought I saw him on here, but I don't see his name now, so I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the numbers provided. He did all the research. So these are the ones provided by him. So
Sir, he says he's on.
I just want to add one thing too, just so you guys know, we did have to extend out the timeline. So we're looking at August 1st is now the date, when we had June 1st on there due to the delays, but we have pushed it out 2 extra months.
And there, depending on how quickly we get the police department built out, the actual physical department downstairs, how quickly we get it, built out, they're be able to.
JC, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm here. What was the question?
I don't know if there was a, I don't know if there was a question. I don't remember right now, but anyway, these numbers that you provided in the budget, for all those are still current and still, accurate?
They were last year's numbers, so if they change, they are going to change a little bit. But I don't envision them changing anything, to nothing significant, I don't believe.
Okay, so those are the numbers there. To the best that we have right now. So.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, we can't hear you.
I said yes, and they're fairly accurate numbers. Well,
Okay, are there any other questions? No questions, I'll entertain a motion.
A motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right. 13, old business. 13.1, discussion of interim police chief salary start date. Mayor Jacobs, HR Director Meningazzo. Resolution number 2021-003. Town Attorney, can you read the resolution by title only?
Sure. Hold on, I was looking at something else. What item are we on?
13.1.
Resolution number 2021-003, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, appointing David Howard as the Town of Pembroke Park Interim Chief of Police, contingent upon the town establishing the town's own police department, and contingent upon David Howard meeting employment and certification criteria, superseding conflicting resolutions, and providing an effective date.
All right. Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll
Yeah.
call. Oh.
No. Discussion. What's the start date on this?
Yolanda, are you on?
I am. The start date would be February 22nd, which is in about a week and a half.
Okay, but the police department is where we don't intend on starting on August 8th.
We still have to build a police department because we don't have one.
I get that, but that's what I would think we need about 2 months. Can he do it without being fully employed? Say,
No,
like I said
this
before,
is not a part-time position. This is a full-time, he's got to work every day to get this thing going. It's not a part-time thing.
Yeah, and I'm going to also agree with the Mayor Jacobs, Clerk Commissioner DeVille. One of his problems was he needs his title to open up all these doors. And now that you see we're going with it, they have to start building it one step at a time, and you need him at the helm. So I think this is very important at this time.
Well, I'm not against it. I'm just trying to save us money if we could. If he could, he's doing now as a consultant, and then maybe 2 months before the department's built, then we make him interim police chief.
Clerk Commissioner, you understand?
We'll be paying him now while we're paying BSO.
That's the cost of starting up any department. It takes time to start up a department. You can't just work for free, flip the switch, and expect it to work. There's a lot going on. If you go through that presentation, you can see how much is involved, how many contracts need to be put in place, how many, different resolutions with different places need to be put in. There's a whole lot that has to happen between now and August 1st. It's not like you just show up one day in a uniform with a car and just expect everything's going to happen. It doesn't work like that. We still have to build up an entire department.
And
We
he
have
need-
nothing to start with.
he needs to be the man doing it as interim police chief.
And that's what he is, an interim for a period of 1 year. Any other discussion?
Yeah, also, is he on the line? Still?
David Howard?
Yeah, Dave's there.
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, another question I had is, I noticed your address, your residence is about 80 miles away. You do know, that's a long commute, daily commute. Will that affect you in any way, coming to work on a daily basis?
No, I'm gonna move.
80 miles.
I'm gonna move to Pembroke Park. I can't do this from 80 miles away. I have to move to Pembroke Park.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
That's it for me.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Any other discussion?
No, I'm all
I
set.
just want to make sure we have all the questions out before we proceed forward.
No, I think we're doing it right.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. I'm
Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Commissioner Clark,
yes.
Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right. 13.1, MWI pumps, oil to water lube conversion. Interim Public Services Director, Jacques.
Good evening, Mayor and everyone. This item is being brought up because last time it was approved as an RFP. And the last meeting that we have, I mentioned that it will go as a sole source, and Town Attorney Melissa wanted to review that document and requested to have a second quote, which we've been waiting for, and we received it email it to both you minutes before this meeting. I went ahead and both Marlon and the town clerk and hers for their review. So basically what happened, the original from the manufacturer was totaled at $71,529, and the second quote came up to $92,700. So based on those two numbers, I'm recommending that we go with the MWI as the sole source and approve for it so we can move forward with the necessary modification that needs to be done before the wet season comes. Any question?
Yes. You're doing this as a single source?
No,
Yes.
listen, Miriam, no.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
You got two proposals,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and I mean, I get, technically you're supposed to have three, but you didn't get three, you got two.
Yes, it's very difficult to get the third one. You see how long I had to wait to get that one?
Yeah.
We have very few.
I-
We need to move forward with that.
Okay, Attorney Anderson.
Okay,
can you
so
fill
you're
us in
gonna
on this?
go, so you wanna go under the sole source?
I mean, it's not really the sole source. Right now, we have two quotes, and I understand that the third one would have been fine if it was possible, if we could get it. But we have a $20,000 difference, and one of the reasons why it's taking so long is because even as
Okay, Miriam, I'm gonna
Yes.
propose the following. I think you should go ahead and get your third quote, but you can have the commission, you can recommend going with NWI, and I understand why they came in lower because they are the sole source for the parts for this pump, not for the repair, but for the parts. But more importantly, when you have an item that's $60,000 or whatever, it's going to be expensive, you know, you've got to go out and get quotes. That's a part of the procurement process. It's not something that, I know you're an engineer and I know you're, you know, you see things in a very linear way, but the point of having a procurement code is so that you go out and you get competitive quotes. And so even though you quote unquote know that it's going to come back higher, we need to see proof of that. So my suggestion would be get the third quote, but have the commission based on what that third quote is. If it's probably going to be higher because they can only buy parts from MWI, and I'm sure MWI is marking it up, and that's why they get all the business. So I would have the commission go ahead and vote, you know, assuming that the third quote you're going to get is going to be higher than MWI. But in the future, we really need to, the town attorney, if you're asking a sole source determination, the town attorney and the town manager need to be advised before a commission meeting where it's announced that you're claiming a sole source purchasing.
And I did explain that I just received this quote, okay?
No, I'm saying
Otherwise,
I think
I don't want to get, I'm not going to get into,
I think I got what Attorney Anderson said, and I'm ready to make that motion. I'll make a motion that we go out for the third quote, and if the third quote is higher than, what is the price for MWI? 71,000 what?
at 29,
What is it?
$71,529.
And if the price is higher on the third quote than $71,529, then MWI will be granted the bid, the award.
right, but I also want to say that as part of the explanation for this item, it was my understanding that we were having ongoing issues with these pumps.
No, we're talking about, wait a minute, town attorney, we have two different pumps here. The one you're mentioning they're totally different pumps. Those pumps we're talking about are very specialized pump. They're not the same one as we were talking about. You're talking about a emergency portable pump, which was really nothing compared to what we're talking about. That's why the price is so much, and we're having a hard time finding people that could handle it. Those things are humongous. First of all, you need to have a factory where you can lay this pump out. You need to have a facility.
Wait, no, I don't want to get into the weeds here.
Okay, we're talking about two different pumps. Okay.
Okay. So you think that and I'm asking your professional opinion. So have we ever had an issue with MWI and the maintenance of these pumps, or do we find them to be a satisfactory vendor?
In the past, to answer your question, in the past, we have always used them. It's just that we're supposed to be doing it on a regular frequency, which has not been done for the last 8 years. So we're trying to get it done because it hasn't been done for that long.
So the issue then was not with the vendor, it was with the fact that we didn't maintain the pumps properly. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so given that scenario, you already heard what I suggested to do, but I just want to make sure that we're using the best vendor we can get for these pumps because they're important.
So is my motion appropriate, Attorney Anderson?
Yes.
Okay, but what happens if a third quote doesn't come in? After, should we do? Give a timeline, 15 days, 30 days?
I would say 10, if she's already asked for it, another 7 days, because I don't want to delay it.
Okay, so
I just want to emphasize that we have all got to be cognizant of the purchasing code when we go to buy or repair or hire, whatever. It's important to go ahead and let me know if you think there are going to be issues ahead of time. And that way we can avoid confusion and public discussion.
So I'm going to add I'm going to add, if I may, I'm going to add that in the event that there's no third quote lower than the 71,529 from MWI, then MWI will be awarded the bid, the quote, the contract for 71,529. Seven business days.
Okay. Before we vote, I need to also stress out that it's not simply a repair, it's a modification. A modification should be done by the manufacturer because that's going to be the most compatible. They're changing a shaft from a oil loop to a water loop. It's not a repair where you just take a part and you buy it and you put it back. This is a whole design and installation and manufacturing. We're talking about a whole engineering work that's going on. It's not simply doing an overhaul. I mean, the overhaul will be included because it's a big job. Part of it is an overhaul for both the pump and the motors.
So
keep that in mind.
You would have another 7 days that you would have to wait.
Well, the reason I just mentioned that's mean that order has to get the design drawings from MWI in order to do the modification. Okay, and we don't know what we're getting for it. I mean, I know we got that second quote based on what we told them needs to be done.
Well, the town commission's other option is to waive the procurement code and go ahead with her suggestions. And I would suggest that at this point, it's important. I don't think it's an emergency requisition, but
it's not an emergency, but it's time urgency because we have 3 pumps. Each pump is 6 weeks, so we're talking about 18 weeks.
What? Okay.
Is the feeling from the commission, Mr. Mayor, that we waive the procurement rules and go with the sole source?
As this isn't an emergency situation, I don't believe it's in our best interest to waive our procurement policy. Miriam, how long did it take you to get the last quote?
That last quote, we requested it since December. We've been trying to get it out December. And let me remind you, Harry, please, you can back me up on that. We're not waiving our procurement when we have a sole source document to support it. There is such a thing in our procurement policy that says we can go sole source based on these qualification I just mentioned, based on the condition I just mentioned. We're not waiving them.
Miriam is correct. There's a section in there that says sole source, that it's not a waiving of our procurement. It's part of
it. And I apologize if I am obviously aware of the sole source provision. I don't think the memo that Miriam gave us is adequate to suffice as a sole source memo. So my suggestion is you either get the quote, get the 7th quote, because the rules, the procurement code says you have to have 3 quotes if it's above or at 10,000.
Okay.
I got a question real quick. MWI is the supplier for the pumps, or is the manufacturer of the pumps?
MWI is the manufacturer, installer of those pumps that are out there on Carolina Street. There are 3 major, humongous pumps.
I know which ones.
They are making a modification to them, switching them from oil to from oil to water.
Oil to water.
Yeah, they weren't maintained very well years ago when they were put in there. They remember the whole story about kitty litter down there to catch the oil and all that stuff. And so right now we're looking for a major modification.
Okay, Town Attorney Anderson, what would be your recommendation?
I think it's important to get it done. I would like to see the 3rd quote. Miriam, who's the third company that you requested a quote from?
I requested from a company called Bonnie Pumps, but I have not, I mean, I got a verbal from them, but I don't have any an email.
Can you just tell us what the verbal is?
They didn't, actually, it wasn't a quote, they refused.
Okay, so I will take that as, that's the third quote. They said they couldn't give you one.
They couldn't handle the job, yes.
All right.
So then Attorney Anderson, what would be your recommendation?
My recommendation is you can go ahead and vote on it because she's went ahead, got 3 solicitations, 3 quotes.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a little wrench in here, and I apologize. Melissa hasn't been in the office. I know she's feeling unwell. Our procurement code requires more than just 3 written quotes for a price for a project this price. It requires a public advertising and going out to bid and receiving sealed bids, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. The fact of the matter is, I in hearing this and the information about the modification and it being from MWI, I'm going to suggest that we approve it as a sole source. We have to get more, the memo, and our town attorney is correct. Our town attorney is correct. That the memo that is provided here doesn't give any information at all. It gives 0 information. It doesn't even ask for it to be a sole source. So I think more information.
What you said earlier was a valid sole source justification. Everything you just said 5 minutes earlier, that was in the memo would have been a sole source justification. So based on.
We can request that from the manufacturer.
No, Miriam, what I need from you is so we can put it on the record, is a memo stating exactly, what I stated, what you stated, and also state that this is a sole source. It's got to be clear that it's a sole source.
Let me make this real simple. How about we do this with the commission? We approve this as a sole source contingent upon Miriam submitting a memo with all the proper information within the next 7 days.
That
Would
sounds
that work, Town Attorney?
Yes.
Okay, so moved.
Commission, okay with that?
Yep.
Commissioner
So
Clark?
Yeah, so you want me to make?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so then how about, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we adopt this from MWI, $71,529 as a sole source. And the interim public service director is going to submit to the town attorney for her approval. It's conditioned on this, that a memo reflects that. Within 7 days.
Okay.
And I second that.
Any discussion?
Miriam, did you say the turnaround time is 6 weeks per pump?
That's what he meant. Yes, the company mentions. There may be a possibility that the next 2 may take a slightly shorter time since it's already been set up. But that's what we were told, 6 weeks.
Okay, and is there any warranties? Some kind of warranty?
It's a year after operation.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Mayor, can you want to call the question?
One more. Town Attorney Anderson, this sounds supposed to you. It's all good here?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? Any more discussion?
Good job.
Roll call.
Motion made by Commissioner Clark, seconded by Clerk Commissioner DeVille. Clerk Commissioner DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark.
Oh, I just want to ask one thing. Mr. Mayor, do we need this motion here supersedes the previous motion I made? How do I, Attorney Anderson, am I doing this correctly for you?
You can either withdraw your motion or you can modify it.
We didn't have a previous motion on this.
There was no motion?
No second.
We were in discussion only.
Okay, so good, we're covered. Okay, yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, 14, discussion. 14.1 has been removed. 14.2 has been removed. 14.3, right-of-way, County Line Road, Commissioner Clark, Town Manager Jimenez, Town Planner Siegel, Planner.
The group was intended to go down and be introduced to the SOARs, and with all this COVID, we decided that we will put it off for a couple of weeks until everything settles down. And they were very happy. The SOARs were very happy that we did that. We were thinking of them. So we'll have an appointment at a later date.
All right. 14.4, I-95 improvements.
Okay, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, what we have to do is we have to really look at this proposal that's coming forward from the Florida Department of Transportation. We talked for at quite length. And then after that, I think some of us realize that these ponds, these retention ponds that are proposed to be put in there are taking up a lot of our property for the future. In other words, where we were going to do septic to sewer, that's all going to be large ponds, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to take a really good look at this. We need to look and see what impact this is going to have on us financially, and come to a conclusion that we protect and benefit and preserve Pembroke Park.
Commissioner Clark, can I make a suggestion? Because this is discussion. We have no backup or information on this. How about you just put this on the workshop for discussion, the next workshop?
Yep, no problem.
We have absolutely no clue what you're talking about.
I know, and it just happened yesterday. Okay. So anyway, yes.
Let's get it on the workshop.
And we'll look at it, open it up there. Very good.
Right. Number 15, attorney reports. Town Attorney Anderson?
I do not have a report this evening.
Okay. Number 16, Town Manager report. Any Town Manager report?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. As you know, this week, last week, the town, we've battled COVID again. And we had a little uptick in some COVID cases here in Town Hall. A lot of scares. Thankfully, everybody is okay. But I do want to stress our COVID protocols. Anybody that comes into Town Hall needs to have their temperature checked. They need to have, their mask on. They have to have proper protocols. They got to be wearing masks, unless I'm a little lenient with if somebody's in their own office by themselves and they want to take a breather. But when we're in meetings, we have to be wearing our masks. When we're interacting with anybody else, we have to be wearing a mask. And anybody that comes into Town Hall, it should only be during business hours, and it has to be, and they have to have the temperature checked. It's just a matter of safety, because I had Town Hall disinfected over the weekend because of these COVID cases, and I just want to make sure that we continue to protect our employees. And that's all I have to say, sir.
I got a question for you. I've been looking and trying and still calling. I have not received an update on anything about our pod for our area. I've reached out to...
I haven't heard anything either, sir. And as soon as I hear something, I will let you know.
Could you possibly reach out tomorrow and see if there's an update, and I will do the same?
I will most definitely, sir.
Okay.
The only thing that I can think of, and I'm not going to put words in their mouth, is that there seems to be a lot of traffic backing up at these locations where these pods are, especially the drive-by ones. And I think that may be something that they're trying to take into consideration. But that is just something that I've seen as it's evolved over the last couple of weeks.
The last I got of it is they're trying to open multiple pods right around the same time to spread out the traffic flow as much as possible. So, but I have not gotten any other updates other than that. But I want the commission to know that we're still actively working on this.
We haven't stopped, sir.
Anything else, JC? I didn't mean to interrupt your report there.
No, that's what I have for now.
All right. Let me look here. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Clark.
Sir, you're muted. We can't hear you.
I have Mr. Roach here right now, and he would like to speak for a moment on the two boards, the planning board and the code board, and who belongs where. If I may, Mr. Mayor, turn it over to him so he could explain to us.
Mr. Mayor, there's some confusion. We received the application so that we could be up to date. Both boards received the applications. Right now, there are only two people on planning and zoning. That is myself and Tamar Benedy. Edward Valley and Gary Schrader and my wife are on code enforcement. So we have a problem because there's only two. Now, the reason it happens is that usually if I'm short on my board of planning and zoning, we pull somebody from the other board to fill in.
You cannot do that. In the future, you cannot do that. I know that is past practice. I understand that you were advised that that was okay.
Yes.
But we can't do that anymore.
Okay, but
And just to clarify, Mayor, with the action that the commission took tonight, we have 4 members on the board. As of yesterday, there were no members on the board because all of their terms had expired. So this was a corrective action that we took tonight, and you made a motion that included 4 people. So going forward, we'll be getting in touch with all the members and reestablishing protocols, voting for a chair, and moving forward. We have to establish this correctly.
the problem is that they're not on code, they're not on planning and zoning. They are
Okay, okay, give me a moment, please. Susie, can you unmute yourself? You could explain.
They have all been appointed to planning and zoning as of tonight. Tonight is a new slate of board members.
And what I was, okay, she just unmuted herself. Let her explain because she did reach out to each and every one of these individuals. Go ahead, Susie.
Hi, I did call Mr. Malley and Mr. Schrader and explain to them that it wasn't for the code board that we were going to appoint them to tonight. It was for the planning and zoning board, and they said that that was fine.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yep, that's all for me.
All right. Clerk Commissioner DeVol.
Nope, nothing for me. Just let's continue moving forward.
All right. And Mayor Cohen is not here this evening, or Vice Mayor Cohen. So I do have just a couple things. One, JC, please make sure that we get a Facebook post out to get people on that planning zoning board. I'll share it.
A note already here to get it out by tomorrow.
Okay, and if you could do me a favor, print out a flyer. I have Joy go and put it up on the bulletin boards in the communities as well. Maybe put a date on it by, like 10 days or.
Yeah, I'll give about 10 days. That's fine.
Okay, about 10 days. That should be fine. I got an update during our meeting here about the pods just in the last few minutes. The reason why they have not opened any pods yet is because they have to do the second vaccine for a lot of people. They don't have enough, excuse me, they don't have enough vaccines to open up the pods yet. So once we have enough vaccines, they will be opening the pods. So we should look forward to that here in the future, after the next 21 days at least. Besides that, I don't have anything else. We will move on to announcements. We have a hearing examiner meeting on February 18th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Our next workshop meeting is on February 24th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Regular commission meeting is March 10th, 2021 at 7 p.m. Everyone have those dates okay? Yeah, all right. Commissioner Clark, do you have those dates? All right. Number 19, I think in record time, 1 hour and 30 minutes, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor of adjournment.
Aye.
Aye.
And a police department.
Aye.
Police Department. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Good night, everyone.
Make sure
This
you guys wear
conference
your
is no
mask.
longer being recorded.
What'd you say, Mayor?
Make sure you wear your mask. Wash your
Every
hands. Social distance.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much.